Good morning everyone. So today we're at a 2006 Mini and it's a diesel version. So what we're going to be doing today, this thing requires a clutch. So I'll just give you a slight step through. So first thing is jack it up and get the wheels off and remove the inner liner. I think there's a couple of bolts at the top. We'll do that first. So you release the T30 there, and then there's other little screws here, and they just unscrew these ones. T30 takes these out. Remove two 8mm bolts from there. One from there. This is underneath the front bumper, and another one from there. So there you go. Remove that. A little plastic connection. It connects from this bottom bit to the front bumper. Pop out 4 of these push-in connectors that go along the front with using a cat's claw. Something like that. And then remove the front grille. Maybe T20 to undo these ones at the front here. You then disconnect this bit of the arch. Just pull that out. See, it's got little clips there from here, and then there's a little screw. Oops. There's a little screw just in here. That's a T20. Just loosen that. Both sides. Then the bumper just slides forward. Disconnect the electrical connections. So that's the front bumper off. So you just need to disconnect these two electrical connections along with the ambient temp sensor. So there's the ambient temp sensor and the two electrical plugs. Just need, that one was a bit tight, believe it or not, so you've got to squeeze that both sides of that tab. And the other one came off, no problem. So both sides. So I think we're going to attack this thing here now. Next, remove these 13mm bolts up the top of the wing here. Store them somewhere safe. See another guy putting them in there. What a great idea. Do the same at the other side, then you disconnect this thing in here for the cable. Now it's just a matter of lifting that up and removing the cable. So that's dead easy, that bit. Helps actually if you got it tilted a wee bit. So pop that back in there. So there you go. Simple as. You then remove 3 13mm bolts from each side, one at the top, and then 2, sorry about that shot here, 2 down the bottom. So that's 3 13mm bolts both sides. Then we go under here. I've already sprayed them down. You then release these bolts. I'll get you the size. Now they seem to be 16mm bolts. Put that one there. Let's see if we can get the gun to take that off. 16mm both sides. Here we go. 16mm. No problem. 4 bolts. Oh, it's hard to see this. Then you give it a little chap forward. Instead of chapped it forward, just hitting this bit up here. You see that slides forward. Now the next bit. Both sides. Chap it forward both sides. Then remove the slave cylinder. 2 13mm bolts. There we go. There's the slave cylinder out, and you see it's dripping a little bit. Now I read BMW says no need to worry about that. That's normal when it's fully extended or wobbled within the piston. So there you go. Right, drain the gearbox oil. So it's an 8mm Allen key into there. like that, and use a bucket, put it underneath. Drain the gearbox oil into a nice clean bucket, you can reuse it. Loosen these 4 bolts with a 21-inch socket. Loosen the 2 13mm bolts holding the the drive shaft carrier, so you can then release this big guy up here. There they're up there. So you can see we've got the entire front end of the car. Now we had to disconnect the aircon pipes, they were a T30. Now make sure this one had no gas in it, so you must make sure you've got no gas in it before you do that. So leave the aircon pipes hanging. There's our coolant, we drained it to coolant, so we've got them hanging there. The radiator connections for the fans going. These multi-plugs down there, and at the other side there was a Reiki multi-plugs there. I'll let you see it. So you can see that we left the intercooler pipe connected at the bottom, so we only had to do the top intercooler pipe. And you see we split the coolant pipe, the lower one, and it comes away with that bottom bit there, and you leave the tanks on. So it's fairly straightforward. Remember to disconnect the horns. There's a multi-plug there for the radiator fan. Here's how it looks. Then disconnect the mechanism for the gear stick, for the gear shifter. That just pop up there, right? That's it, yeah. Hey everybody, sorry I haven't been taking much of a video. This is a horrendous job. So the catalytic converter stroke DPF has to be removed because you need access. See that? It splits with the turbo and the bottom exhaust pipe. So it has to be removed because you need access. See these torques, E12 torques, there's one there, then there's one there. So this job just got a whole lot worse. So here's an update, the salient points of this job. So I think I'd say to you this was needing a clutch, but you can actually see it's this arm, it goes onto the release bearing, it's broken. The arm is broken right there, so we need to order that for BMW, nobody else supplies it. So we're waiting for that to arrive, and it also chewed up the release bearing as well, so the car's getting a new clutch plus that arm. There's the box number there, what's he doing? MTF LT4. So once again a recap of this job. We had to remove the computer and that kind of fancy fuse box, and that was to give access to the gear change mechanism. Now we'll see if I can see that. It would be better to go underneath the car. So you get the gear change mechanism from the top, and you also release, there you go, the hydraulic clutch. It goes onto the back, see that bit down there? That bit wiggling about, that connects to the back of the box with a 10mm bolt. So there's the DPF we had to take off. There's one of the pressure pipes goes in there, and the other one goes to the top. We'll show them on the car. And there's the gearbox mount. So it's 7 bolts. So there's the bolts there. I'll let you see that. Got 2 long ones, and then you've got the shorter one at the back here, and these other 4 are exactly the same length. So I'll show you the pipe work for that. So there's one of the DPF pipes, and there's the other one down there. Now, I think they were a 19mm spanner. They came off no problem at all. Another thing we had to take out, we left this one in. You see that stud there? It's got a Torx end in it. Leave that one in. But the other one we had to remove so we can get access to this bolt to go into the gearbox. So that's why the whole of the DPF stroke cat had to come out to get access to that box. We released the intercooler pipe up here. I'll show you that. There you go, there's the intercooler pipe there. It goes all the way to the bottom, so it saves you from doing that. We also drained the coolant, and we also removed the aircon pipes. But, as I said to you, there was no gasness, so that was good. And that's the shields for the back of the DPF. See, we then removed this bolt here. It goes onto the suspension arm, and this is to give you room so you can drop this chassis leg. See it there? That's the movement you get in the subframe. That's the subframe there, so you have to remove these 3 bolts at the bottom there, and also you've seen that we removed the bottom ball joints from that bracket there, and then you drop the subframe from that bolt there. That's to allow the box. You only need to drop the subframe at this side where the gearbox is in order to give you room out. There's the slave cylinder there. There's that 10mm bolt. It goes onto the back of the box. There's the gear change mechanism, so I think that's 2 13mm bolts if I remember, or maybe it was Torx. That goes into the top of the box, so you've got to get that out of the road. And apart from that, it is quite a horrendous job, I would say. It's not an easy job. So we were at it all day yesterday, now we're going to wait for parts. Oh, there's a multi-plug. I think that multi-plug connection goes into the back of the gearbox. That one there. There's the part number. The 484201. Or maybe it's that one there, don't know. So it was 40 odd quid. We had to go to BMW. There it's there. Here we go. Put it back together again. That's at the gearbox shaft. What do you say? It's not too much. It ends up sticking with the dust. You didn't want that. So there we go. And then a wee bit on the release bearing. Beautiful.
The hole, see?
Oh aye, so it does. That's it on properly this time. Hopefully it'll go the way back. Well, it should. It's straight at least. Right. Another part we had to buy for the Mini. Part number... There it's there. Clutch line. So what it is, where it goes into the slave cylinder, down the gearbox, just on that turn, corrosion. I don't know if it's still got the pipe on. No, we took it off. So that has to get replaced. So only place we could get this was BMW. So that's about £40. And you connect it up there at the back.